Hello! Been a long time since I made one of these. Um, Mostly because I was on a trip to Europe. And this one, I don't think this is going to be as long. And I kind of wanted to say this while I've got this fresh in my head. I wanted to talk about the state of movies nowadays, and like especially nerdy movies. Um, I'm about to go see Captain America's Civil War, and that's going to be super cool. And I'm really looking forward to that. And I just saw Superman versus Batman, and I'm gonna make a video about that because I want to. And that's it. So, real quick, he said as he paused, I wanted to make a video talking about like nerdy adaptation movies and how I haven't seen like an original movie in a long time. And what I mean by original is like a movie with a fairly original concept, but something that wasn't like it didn't have based off of or an adaptation of or inspired by, a movie that was just a movie. And I was thinking about it today, and I think the last movie I saw that was not based off of anything was Splice. And that was like 5 years ago, something like that. It was a super long time ago, and since then, the only kind of movies I've seen have been like James Bond movies or comic book movies or remakes. So many remakes. And why I like comic book movies is they're the closest thing I think to what I'm looking for. Like, it's a fairly original concept. I mean, yes, it's an adaptation of the comic book, but it does it in a new, different way. Like, is there, like for example, like in the Daredevil TV show, like, I don't, like, spoilers, but in the second season, there's that scene where the hospital gets invaded by ninjas. I don't know if there's an issue of Daredevil where that specifically happens and the night nurse is there and it's all cool and awesome or whatever. But that was like a cool idea. Like, they took the idea of the night nurse, who already exists, Daredevil, who already exists, and the Hand, and they just kind of made something original out of it. Or like Captain America Civil War. I'm sure, and I'll probably make a video about that too, I'm sure it's not going to follow Civil War exactly. How could it? Because there's a whole part of Civil War that focuses around the Fantastic Four family falling apart. And Marvel doesn't own Fantastic Four anymore. So, my whole point is, it's probably not going to be the same. It's going to be the same, but different. Like the Game of Thrones TV show. The books and the show basically follow the same plots, but there's things in the show that are different and things in the book that are different. That makes reading the books enjoyable and watching the show also enjoyable. And I feel like movies should be like that. Like, they're making a Ghostbusters remake. Like, who the fuck gives a frog's fat ass about Ghostbusters? I mean, and everyone's made a video talking about how much they hate the Ghostbusters trailer. And I'm not a big fan of the Ghostbusters trailer. And I know, that's huge news. But I'm not a fan because it's so remakey. Like, the characters are like, they found a sassy black lady, or they found a chubby lady to be Rey, or they found a nerdy-looking lady to be Egon. And from what I can tell from the trailer, they actually have, like, I didn't see a repeat of a line. Like, I didn't see a "who you gonna call?" or "that's a big Twinkie" line. And that was cool. But my point is, it's just, I don't think the world needed another Ghostbusters movie. Like, even if it was like as they planned, Ghostbusters 3 with the old cast, I would have probably rolled my eyes at the trailer and been like, "Oh my god, another Ghostbusters movie?" And I know the trailer gets a lot of flack. Like, a lot of people like push back when that trailer gets flack. They push back from the flack because they're women. And they say, like, "Oh, you just don't like it because it's women." And it's like, I don't like it because it looks stupid. If it was a completely different cast of men who like, you know, looked kind of like a guy who looked kind of like Bill Murray, or a guy who looked kind of like Harold Ramis, I'd still be like, it just doesn't look that good. And I think it's because of this idea, like everything gets remade or everything is an adaptation of something else. Like the Oscars, everything's a book. The Martian, The Revenant, Danish Girl, everything's a book. And I should know. I work at a bookstore. So my point is, like, why don't, instead of, like, the reason the original Ghostbusters was so cool is because it was so, like, original. So cool. There was nothing around like that at the time. Or, like, Back to the Future. Or, like, that's why people kind of, like, remember those movies. It's also nostalgia, but I think it's also because those movies were, like, original for their time. So why don't we get another movie like that? Surely, and to say that every idea has been done, well then do the same ideas, but do them differently. I don't know. Just an idea, just a thought. Oh, I was talking about this earlier. Like, for example, my friend was talking about the new Power Rangers movie coming out. That's cool, I guess, if you're into Power Rangers. I don't really care. But I said, I know what this movie's going to be. It's going to be like a super serious, Marvel-esque film that's going to be trying to start a new franchise. And that's cool and everything, but it's going to be super serious. It's going to take itself super seriously. It's going to try to look cool. And that's cool that it looks cool, but I wish it was like a Scott Pilgrim versus the World-esque film, like directed by Edgar Wright, where it was just like, it's wacky and it's weird and it's really funny. And it's like, oh, Power Rangers, but it's also like kind of taking the piss out of Power Rangers. That would be cool. And I thought about this, and I thought about how Edgar Wright backed off of Ant-Man, and I haven't heard, but my idea in my head, my like fan theory, I guess is what you call it, is Edgar Wright probably backed off because they were like, it needs to have this many cameos, it needs to have this many references to other Marvel movies we're making, it needs to have this and this and this, and Edgar Wright was probably like, fuck that, I just wanted to make my own Ant-Man movie, and that's what I wanted. Like, I had this super great idea, where, what if it was an Ant-Man movie, but it was directed by Edgar Wright, and it was like this kind of Scott Pilgrim themed thing where it's got like super comic booky panels, and like it just doesn't fit. It's like a weird, like, it's like the black sheep of the Marvel family. It doesn't really follow the Marvel formula, but it's weird and it's quirky and it's cool and it's funny, and you can have like Simon Pegg and Nick Frost appear, and they could be like really obscure Marvel heroes like Nighthawk and Speedball. How cool would Nick Frost be as Speedball? People would love that shit. People would love that. People would ask for a Nighthawk and Speedball TV show. And you'd be like, you know, like Speedball, and you'd be, and Nick Frost could be like, oh yeah, you know, I got fat because like I used to be super cool, and then people forgot about Speedball, and I got fat. And like, and I'm not saying Nick Frost is fat, but it would be funny to see a chubby Speedball, you know. And I'm just saying that would be so funny and that would be so cool. And why didn't they do that? I think they should do that for the sequel. They should get Edgar Wright back and say, do whatever you want, because who cares? I mean, like, it would have been cool to see a cameo with Nighthawk and Speedball as Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. But instead, what I got was the Falcon fighting Ant-Man, which was kind of funny. You know, wasn't super funny. Wasn't like, he's like, it's okay, he can't see me, and Falcon's like, I can see you, and he's like, oh shit. And that's kind of funny. But ultimately, you know, kind of falls flat. So there are good ideas out there. I'm going to try to wrap this up. In summation, I guess, like, try something new. Try something new with comic book adaptations. Try something new with movies. Like, there was a movie that came out, I think it was called Turbo Kid, and I really want to see it because it looks really cool, and it's, as far as I understand, an original concept. I heard Deus Ex was like that too, but it's hard to find these movies for me. And maybe that's because I live in a small town. Because I do. I live in a small town. I live in Montana. Huh. Who knows where that is? Am I right? Ha 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 ha. But, you know, I just think movies should get back to being like taking risks and coming up with original things. I don't want another Power Rangers movie. I don't want another Ghostbusters movie, and that's just my opinion. But there must be someone out there who shares my opinion. I want a movie like Ghostbusters, and I don't mean like a movie that follows the plot of Ghostbusters but calls it something else, or maybe I mean like something that's like original. Like what if it was a team of 4 women who fought ghosts but in a different way? Instead of proton packs, they use sacred Japanese exorcism slips. I don't know. Well, I am a writer, but I'm not a movie writer. I'm not a script writer, so I don't know. I'm just saying, try something new, try something different. Anyways, I just wanted to make a video and talk about that real quick. And my super great idea for a movie, Marvel, call me Marvel. I'll write this script for you, even though I just said I don't write scripts. But whatever. Oh. But yeah, that's all I've got to say. Anyways, hope you're having a super good day. I hope you're having a super fine, awesome day. Okay, bye. I love you.